Here, LA in a minute, and I'm here in North Hills with my friend Lynette Romero from NBC4 and Today in LA, in front of Fido the Reindeer, an absolute treasure for folks throughout the city.
Thanks to one family, Fido has been here for nearly 40 years, providing smiles and holiday happiness as LA's unofficial Christmas mascot.
Let's get into it. So I grew up about 4 blocks from here, back when this area was called Sepulveda, and back then, Fido was a dog, and he still is, 11 months a year. But once the calendar flips to December, he transforms into Fido the Reindeer.
The story starts with Brian Welch, a retired contractor who moved from England here to Los Angeles at the age of 21, with plans to open a hair salon. He was a hairdresser with ambition, talent, and an eye for design. He also had an eye for Sue, and they fell in love, got married, and moved to this home in the mid-1980s. Just as this ivy was climbing those wires and forming an archway. And that's when Sue realized that the hedge was starting to look like a dog. And remember that note about Brian being a hairdresser? Well, he got his shears and he went to work.
He created a beautiful, detailed, and fun ivy canine and named it Fido. I can tell you personally that growing up here, this was an absolute point of pride as well as a landmark for miles around. It was known colloquially as the topiary dog or the plumber poodle. But less than a year after Fido found his shape, the city of Los Angeles sent a notice saying the ivy had to be removed because it was encroaching on the sidewalk and utilities. But Brian figured that if the city could cite him, then Fido was technically on city property, which meant it should be the city's job to cut him down, not his.
The good news, the city never came knocking again, and the phone company even said as long as it didn't interfere with service, Fido could live peacefully. So for decades now, Brian and Sue have raised and cared for the growing Fido, now more than 15 feet tall, along with their sons Mark and Andrew, who had the idea to turn Fido into a reindeer during Christmas.
Mark and Andrew added the decorations, fashioning the antlers out of styrofoam and canvas material and stringing lights on those antlers. And of course, adding the bow and the nose. One more note, right across the street from Fido is Bull Creek. This is where they filmed the famous scene in Terminator 2 where Robert Patrick's T-1000 is chasing Edward Furlong as John Connor and Arnold Schwarzenegger as the original Terminator, and the big rig crashes down into the wash, aka Bull Creek. If you look closely, they say you can actually see Fido in the background.
I'm Lynette Romero from NBC4 and Today in LA, helping highlight the Welch family who turned Fido the dog into Fido the Reindeer each year. He truly is LA's unofficial Christmas mascot and a treasure for North Hills.
All right, LA.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.